Well, hello, everybody. I feel like it's been a minute, but this is Ron Evans, and I'm back at it today. I trust you all had a fantastic Thanksgiving holiday here in 2021. I know my family did. And not going to lie, I'm a little behind. I didn't get a chance to record a few things before the holiday vacation. So buckle up. I'm going to get right to this today. And just know that there's going to be another update on this exact same subject coming up in just the next few days. So you're going to get two for the price of one this week. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Orange County Housing Report, of course. As always, I get this information straight from Stephen Thomas and his reports on housing. Stephen's been at this for, 20 years. And he's a local economist here in Orange County, and he's considered one of the foremost authorities on what we do here regarding housing and real estate. So let's get right to it. Current report is titled November Housing Heatwave. With an astonishing limited supply of available homes to purchase matched up with blistering hot demand due to record low mortgage rates, the overall housing market in Orange County is insanely hot. Stop me if you've heard that one before. It's been hot, it's currently hot, and it's going to stay hot, folks. Let me pause for a second to always say, if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to see them placed in either the podcast questions and comments section or on YouTube, wherever it is you're listening or viewing. As always, you can send them straight to me as well at realestate101@ronevansrealty.com or 949-929-2270. You can get your text messages in there. All right, let's go. Let's get back at it. Like I said, it's been hot, it's currently hot, and it's going to stay hot. With an expected market time of only 23 days, the Orange County housing market is hotter than it has ever been for this time of year. Let that sink in. We have never had a continued hot housing market like we are experiencing right now. Never. Everyone put on their favorite pair of shorts, grabbed their flip-flops, applied sunscreen, and enjoyed the unusual summer activities of sunny Southern California. From the beach to the pool to the mountain hikes, there is plenty to do when the temperature eclipses 90 degrees, yet it's not the middle of summer. It's a heat wave in the middle of November. Just a couple of weeks until Thanksgiving. Occasionally, Mother Nature cooks up summer weather at this time of year. We have been experiencing for the last couple of weeks what are called Santa Ana winds, for those of you who are local to here. That's where the wind blows in from the east instead of our normal coastal breeze, and it brings the hot air from the desert, swoops it in over the mountains and down into our little area here. And it makes it feel like it's summertime when it should be wintertime. He writes, housing has been dealing with an unrelenting heat wave of its own since last year, and that's true. After coming out of the COVID lockdown protocols, the inventory dropped, demand soared, and housing reached record-breaking temperatures from July through the end of 2020. It has never cooled. In fact, the 37-day expected market time reached in December, which is the time between putting in the for sale sign to opening escrow, was the hottest level of the year for Orange County. In 2021, temperatures continued to climb to levels never seen before. Housing grew hotter and the market time drove to 21 days on April 1st. That's the hottest reading since tracking began in 2004. Today's 23-day expected market time is the lowest for mid-November by far, and not much different than what we experienced in April. The heat wave is so intense and will continue through the end of 2021, setting up a remarkably hot start to 2022, much hotter than this year's start. The expected market time is the speed of the market. The lower the number, the faster homes are being placed into escrow. Anything below 60 days is considered a hot seller's market, where there are plenty of showings, multiple offers, sellers call the shots, and home values are on the rise. A new level emerged to adequately describe this year's heat wave, he writes. More intense than the record temperatures reached last year. Anything below 40 days is considered an insane seller's market. Insane. That is a market with a flood of showings, an overwhelming number of multiple offers. Sellers get just about everything their hearts desire in calling the shots, and home values soar. Yes, despite all the news about flattening median sales prices, which is not an accurate gauge of home values anyway, and buyers less willing to enter bidding wars, home values are still on the rise today in the middle of November, just days before the start to the holiday market. The beginning of the holiday market is at the end of this week, which is the start to the Thanksgiving recess for schools. This is what we were just coming out of. That is when housing shifts from the autumn market, when both the inventory and demand slowly but surely drop at a very similar pace, to the holiday market, when both the supply of homes available to purchase and buyer demand plunge. Today's supply of available homes to purchase is at 1,793, which is the lowest level since tracking began in 2004. Let me repeat that. We only have 1,793 homes available in all of Orange County. And he started tracking this in 2004. Like I said, almost 20 years ago, he's been at this. It's hard to imagine that the inventory will plunge from here, but it will most likely drop below 1,500 homes by the year's end. The fewest number of homes come on market in the month of December, 63% fewer compared to the peak month of May. And that's going through a 5-year average of 2015 to 2019 prior to the pandemic. The second fewest occurs in November, which is 46% fewer than May. Also, many unsuccessful sellers throw in the towel during the holidays and opt to wait until next year to try again. It's hard to believe, but 41% of the active inventory, 793 homes, have been on the market for more than a month. Keep in mind, we're at a 23-day expected market time. So if you've been on the market for more than 30 days, something might be up that you need to reevaluate. And that's what he's getting at here. These are the sellers most apt to throw in the proverbial towel. Today's insane seller's market is not going anywhere. Rather, it is setting up an extremely hot start to the 2022. It will be an insane seller's market from January 1st on. Last year, there were 2,522 homes available on January 1st. Upon celebrating the coming new year, there will be less than 1,500 homes, which is 41% fewer than the start of last year, or this year, sorry. That is nuts. Match a record low supply with an overabundant demand juiced by low mortgage rates, and housing will remain hot through the spring of 2022. All right, let's get into the actual numbers. Active listings. The current active inventory declined another 4% these past 2 weeks. The active listing inventory shed 71 homes in the past couple of weeks, which is down 4%, and now sits at 1,793 homes, like we mentioned before, which is the lowest level since tracking began in 2004. That is an unbelievably low level of homes for mid-November. For perspective, last year at this time, so a year-over-year comparison, there were 3,843 homes available, 114% more. We have less than half the homes available today than we did 365 days ago. In 2019, right before the COVID pandemic, there were 5,534 homes available, over 200% more than today. And in 2018, that number was 7,218 homes, or 300% more. Keep in mind, folks, While it wasn't an insane seller's market in 2018 and 2019, it was still a good seller's market and things were cooking along and we thought it couldn't get any better and get any nuttier. Yet here we are. So there were 4 times as many homes available in 2018 compared to today. He writes, it is hard to articulate just how acute the supply crisis has been this year, but it has underscored the incredible rise in home values and foreshadows continued appreciation to come. With the start of the holiday market, expect the inventory levels again to plunge and drop below 1,500 homes by year's end, and at least another 17% lower than today. That will be on the back of fewer homes coming to market and unsuccessful sellers pulling their homes off the market and waiting until next year. Keep in mind, folks, these available homes are not sitting out in container ships off the port of Long Beach. That's not going to solve our problem. I would like to hear from you guys to find out if any of you guys are buyers out there that are starting to be beyond freaked out and maybe are getting discouraged, thinking you're never going to be able to find a home. I'd like to hear from you. Give me your thoughts. Drop a comment. Hit me up. If you're a seller who maybe is at the point where you're having to throw in the towel because your home didn't sell, drop a comment. Hit me up. I want to hear from you too. I want to see what's been going on. What do you think the problem has been? So keep in mind, these next stats, we intentionally omit 2020 due to COVID because it skewed the data. It messed up with the lockdowns and everything. It messed up what our normal patterns are. So the 3-year average from 2017 to 2019, again, had an extra 4,029 homes or 225% more, which is triple compared to today. There were a lot more choices just 2 years ago than today. For October, there were 400 fewer new for sale signs in Orange County compared to the 3-year average of October from 2017 to 2019. Every single missing sign just exacerbates the inventory crisis. Now let's talk about demand. Demand dropped by 4% the past couple of weeks. So proportionally, it dropped about the same amount as supply. Keep in mind, demand is measured by how many homes go off the market by entering escrow, go pending. That's how he measures demand. So demand, a snapshot of the number of new escrows over the prior month, decreased from 2429 to 2322 the past couple of weeks, shedding 107 pending sales, which is down 4%. At this point, the limited supply of available homes is eating into the potential number of escrows. True demand, the number of buyers in the marketplace, is a lot higher than tracked demand based upon escrow activity. True demand is impossible to gauge, but the throngs of showings for just about every home that hits the market, combined with the sheer volume of multiple offers generated, illustrates that there is a vast pool of buyers looking to secure a home. Take time out here for a second to give you a real world example of this. I have a buyer that is actively looking. They're not at the desperate phase yet because they've got some time, so they understand that. And so they know that when they find the right home, they'll get aggressive. But we looked at a home this past week. This home was available on a Wednesday afternoon for 30 minutes for people to come see it. And I think during that 30 minutes that we were there, because we got there right when it was pretty much kicking off, and we stayed for about the whole half hour, there were probably 30 to 35 groups that came through this home in just a half hour time slot on a Wednesday afternoon. Like it was 4:00 on a Wednesday. That's what we're dealing with, folks. And this was a home that was a nice home. good area, needed a lot of updating and a lot of work, but it had a lot of potential. But it definitely was not a walk-in HGTV ready to go home with that kind of offering and that kind of traffic. You would almost think that it would have to be, but that's just not where we're at right now. Last year, demand was 2,799, 21% more than today. But that was due to the 4-month delay in the spring market because of COVID. The 3-year average prior to COVID, 2017 to 2019, is 2139 pending, which is 8% less than today. So we're really off about 8% on our demand. Talk a little bit about the luxury market. What I've been talking about so far has been all encompassing of all price points in Orange County. And let's just specifically look at luxury. Luxury is now in our area defined as homes priced above 1.5 million. In the past 2 weeks, the luxury inventory of homes priced above 1.5 million decreased by 69 homes, which is down 10%, and now sits at 603 homes. Its largest drop of the year and the lowest level since tracking began in 2004. Luxury demand increased by 20 pending sales, or up 5%. There you go. And now sits at 416. With a large drop in the supply and an increase in demand, the overall expected market time for luxury homes priced above 1.5 million plunged from 51 days to 43 days, its lowest level since tracking began. Keep in mind, and I've mentioned this before if you've listened to these market updates, keep in mind, when I started in real estate in 2014, it was not uncommon to see the luxury days on market go anywhere from 120 days on the low end of the luxury scale, which at that time was a million. Now it's 1.5 million. If you got into like the $3 to $4 and $5 million plus homes, your demand might be 300 days, 400 days, 500 days. And that was to be expected. You might have a home that you go list for $4 million, sit on the market for over a year. You were prepared for that. Listen to what I'm going to talk to you about right now. Right now, it's at 43 days. Year over year, luxury demand is up by 105 pending sales, or 34%. So overall, demand is down 4% and supply is down 4%. But in the luxury space, it is up 34%. And the active luxury listing inventory is down 51%, 638 homes. The expected market time last year was at 120 days, which is still extremely hot for luxury. Right now, we're at 43 days. It was 3 times higher this time last year, which was still crazy. So that is indicating just how unbelievably hot the luxury market is right now. For homes priced between 1.5 and $2 million, the expected market increased from 24 days to 25 days. So when we're talking about these things ramping up, it's not even in like the low end of luxury, the 1.5 to 2 million. Let me keep going here. For homes priced between 2 million and 4 million, the expected market time decreased from 54 to 42 days. So this is where the biggest decreases are happening. Homes above 2 million. So from 2 to 4 million, it decreased from 54 to 42 days. For homes priced above $4 million, it decreased from 126 days to 94 days. That is the range that I'm telling you. Just 5-6 years ago, it might be 300 days, 400 days, 500 days in that price point above 4 million. And that was still considered a good market. At 94 days, a seller would be looking at placing their home into escrow around February of 2022. You could literally put your home on the market right now at Thanksgiving and have it sold by Valentine's Day at a $4 million listing. Homes priced below $750,000 have an expected market time of 19 days. I'm going to give you a breakdown of all the different price points here. Again, kind of reiterate a few of them. Below 750, 19-day expected market time equals 28% of the housing inventory, 33% of the demand. Last year, we were at 30 days at that price point. So we've gone down year over year from 30 days to 19 days in that price point. From 750 to 1 million, which would be considered like a move-up home from people in the condo space to going to a single family residence, maybe a growing family or whatever, or it could be a move down home from someone who's downsizing. That's the 750 to 1 million. Expected market time is 18 days. It equates to 21% of today's inventory and 27% of the current demand. Last year, we were at 25 days. For 1 million to 1.25 million, expected market time is 18 days. It equals 10% of the current inventory, 13% of the demand. And this time last year was at 40 days. Check this out. Higher the price point. Listen to how these things are dropping again. From 1.25 million to 1.5 million, the expected market time is 20 days. That equals 8% of the current housing inventory, 9% of the demand. And this time last year, we were at 56 days on market, expected market time. So from 56 down to 20 for a $1.5 million home. And that's not considered luxury. Now we're getting into the luxury space. From 1.25 million here, again, it's 25 days. That's from 1.25 to 2 million. That equals 8% of the housing inventory and 8% demand, share of the demand. This time last year, 72 days. So it's gone down from 72 days to 25 days. From 2 million to 4 million. Again, we're at 42 days currently. That equals 13% of our inventory. So you see how it crests back up a little bit there after it comes down and then kind of goes back up when you hit that higher end. Equals 7% of the current demand. This time last year was at 118 days. So it's gone down 3x from 118 to 42 days. Now hold on to your seats, and here's where you're really going to hear exactly what I've been talking about with the high end stuff. For $4 million plus, we're currently at 94 days again. 12% of the current inventory, 3% of the demand. But listen to this. I just said we're at 94 days right now. This time last year, it was at 308 days. That's why I'm telling you, it is crazy. I've never seen it like this. It was not uncommon to see 300, 400, 500 plus days in that price range, days on market for the last several years. Okay, that breaks down all of those price points with what you see. Last thing I'll hit on real quickly is distressed homes. Everyone keeps thinking we've had forbearance that people didn't understand, and now there's going to be this big, huge wave of distressed homes, and distressed homes are both short sales and foreclosures combined. I don't see it happening. A lot of people don't see it happening. I know that what you see on mainstream media and a lot of other news outlets is like warning that we're going to have this huge bubble burst and a lot of foreclosures hit the market. I don't know about that, and there's reasons behind it. The main one being the last time we had a housing crisis, or let's just say a financial crisis in the United States and in the world, it was due to the housing crisis and how we were doing loans. And you had a lot of people that were on option arms, which is where you're not paying your full, even interest only. And so you're not building any equity. That's not what we have today. Right now, we have most homes are going under contract and being bought, at least for the last several years. You have a lot of conventional loans, even people that are going FHA or VA are putting money down. You don't have a lot of 100% loans, and you don't have a lot of of negative amortization loans. So people have equity in their homes that they can ride out an adjustment in the housing market or in the economy. They can handle that a lot easier today than they could 10 years ago when we had the last crisis. So I don't see, and a lot of people don't see really a lot of distressed homes coming to market. I know a lot of people are kind of waiting for it and just gambling on it happening. I wouldn't hold my breath. Currently, they only make up 0.6%, so not even 1% of all listings, and only 0.3% of the demand. So they're not even the ones that are coming to market aren't selling. There are only 8 foreclosures and 2 short sales even available in all of Orange County right now. 10 total distressed homes on the active market, up 1 from 2 weeks ago. Last year, there were 12 total distressed homes on the market, similar to today. So I just don't see it. If you think you have, the genie in the bottle telling you something different and you've got something to back it up, I'd love to hear from you when it comes to the distressed inventory. If you think it's going to go up, I would love to hear your reasoning. Hit me up. There were 2,778 closed residential resales in October, 17% than October 2020, which had 3,359 closed sales. For the year through October, there have been 30,097 closed sales, 23% higher than last year of 2020. September marked a 7% drop compared to September 2020. The sales to list price ratio was 100.5% for all of Orange County. Foreclosures accounted for just 0.29% of all closed sales, and short sales accounted for 0.04%. That means 99.7% of all sales were good old-fashioned sellers with equity. And it's likely not going to change. Now, folks, this has been a general summary report. Again, given to me by Stephen Thomas with Reports on Housing. And it's me just going through his summary and what he puts down. And I interject a little bit of my own real world knowledge and experience in here. Again, this is for all of Orange County. I do have the breakdowns available for every city in Orange County. So if you would like information for you where you actually live, please hit me up. Again, it's Real Estate 101 at ronevansrealty.com. That's how you can hit me up by email. You can also text me at 949-929-2270. Leave a comment anywhere on a podcast that you see this, or on YouTube if you're watching it, and I'll get to you and I can send you a detailed report of your area, breaking down what's available, what the demand is, days on market, expected sales time, and the different price points. As always, it's been a pleasure. Again, you're going to get another one of these updates here just in a few days because of the holiday lag, but I hope you enjoy. Take care.